Welcome to episode 6 of the podcast. What's good, gentlemen?
What's going on?
What's happening?
Shit, life great. What? Oh, we got two J's.
Oh, there we go.
That was trippy. But I ain't gonna lie, I was thrown for a second. But, yeah, man. Welcome to episode 6 of the podcast. I can't see that.
Oh, my fault.
So yeah, man, how y'all boys doing? What's up? What y'all did this weekend?
Man, I was working on Blackboard Renaissance stuff, man, working on the articles that we got coming out sometime this week, and then I got called in to a job. Kind of rushed me, kind of messed me over. I was kind of in the middle of cooking. It is what it is.
Jobs, man.
You finished the meal, son? Did you finish the plan?
Oh, son, the meal is sitting on the counter right now.
Oh man, still.
Not finished.
That's hard.
I just filled out some job applications. Really, that was most of my weekend, just trying to get a job, man. I'm hoping. Well, it's looking like one of my main job options. It pays well, but it's not somewhere I want to go. It's in Iowa, so I'm trying to get some other options possibly lined up.
What's the biggest city in Iowa?
Probably
Yeah,
Des Moines.
Des Moines
Yeah, Des Moines.
or Des Moines. Sorry, I mispronounced it.
Man, you'll never get anything about Iowa.
Yeah.
Pretty
But they're talking about paying good, so I was like, I'll go. And plus, I don't have many other options. But, woo, I'm going to be cold.
Yeah.
That's hard, my brother. I went to my fraternity stuff show, Golden Explosion, so that was pretty fun. Had a pretty eventful weekend. The stuff show was lit. They gave away some scholarships. Yeah.
always about
I'm salty I couldn't go.
Ice cold.
these guys. Yeah, man. For my weekend, man, we just had a party for my grandma. Turned 90, man. So pretty cool. Got to celebrate with the family. Did a lot of work.
Of
Did a
course,
lot of
as
work.
always.
'Cause, you know, when you in the family, the young person, they make you do work.
Especially a young man.
Young man, young able-bodied man. A lot of lifting stuff. A lot of moving stuff. A lot of cooking. Driving. But it was great, man. Grandma 90 is a blessing. Love her
Amen.
to death. Yeah.
More life. We're going to wish him many more years to come.
Amen.
Definitely.
So, hey, man, before we get into like what we're gonna talk about today, y'all heard about what happened? What was going on with Walmart?
I heard some stuff, but I don't know exactly.
Man, it's crazy. So you know how we always talking about like the economic tidal wave and how like jobs are getting eliminated. Well, a couple weeks back, Walmart announced that they were eliminating like the greeter position, you know, the old just waving that shit and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In that position. Now, earlier this week, they announced that they were some robots. Exact figure. I think it's like 15 floor scrubbers. It's another 900 of those big towers for the pickup. It's all kind of stuff. But we're seeing it right now. Like, this is the economic tidal wave. There aren't going to be any more people stocking shelves in Walmart
Dang.
or cleaning floors.
Dang.
That's two positions eliminated. How many people you see cleaning floors and stocking shelves in Walmart?
A lot, especially at night. That's most of the night shifts.
Yeah.
That's a night job. Like, and that's one of the better paying positions Walmart has.
Yep.
Yeah. We knew people that did that in school. That was like one of the ways that they were able to work was because it was a night shift. So that really sucks.
That's hard.
So everybody out there, y'all stay up on game. Don't get caught sleeping.
Yeah.
Economic tidal wave.
It's coming.
It came. It's shit.
You're right. Can't even, yeah.
Don't get washed out. Better learn how to swim.
You better learn fast.
Speaking of, can I bring up one more random just thing before we get on topic?
Yeah.
I saw something on Twitter earlier that I thought was the coolest stuff ever. This school was doing they had an after school program that was helping get a lot of the kids out of like trouble. And it was like they could come on Fridays and I think it was like weekends basically. They would come to the school after hours, and it was just a safe place for the kids to hang out, and like they didn't have to worry about any guns or any drugs, anything like that. And I just thought that was really cool. It was like this black dude as a principal. He had set up the program, and they had different stuff that would bring kids out, like actual stuff that we know kids would be interested in. Like they had a studio, and they were like they could come and record if they wanted to do that at the school on Friday nights and stuff like that, just to try to keep people out of trouble. I just thought that was like a really cool thing. And another thing that I thought was really cool about it, one thing we talk about as far as economics and black people is like a need to support ourselves and like a need to pool our money and be able to work together. And that's actually what they were doing. The funding for that program came from the community. And so it was like, that was a really cool example to me.
That's fine.
Yeah, I just thought that was cool.
That's fire, bro. I'm glad you kind of got on the economic side of things, because that's exactly what we're talking about today. We're going to move into, we always talking about how black businesses need to support one another. It was a post we made a while back, right, Kelly? I can't remember exactly when. But we had asked people to tag a black business. And we noticed that over 70% of those businesses were in one of three industries. Either, I want y'all to guess. Just figure it out. Take a wild guess, Jared.
T-shirts.
That's one.
Yeah.
What else we got? Oh, I know hair is, because I get followed by 1 million hair pages. So was it hair beauty? Something like that, because everybody's a makeup artist.
Yep.
Let me see. I don't know a third one. What was that?
You know a third one.
No, the third one.
Cooking or something?
Yep.
Amen. The trifecta.
I know a lot of people are. One thing I really like with the cooking, I like that people are bringing a lot of variation with, as far as like vegan options to old school foods that people like, or like healthier options to foods that people like, soul foods options and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. Because then people still comfortable with what they eating, but you eating healthier,
Yeah. But yeah, that was the three industries that I seen that was by far the most popular, most common. And I think pretty much everybody here knows somebody that's in those three industries.
One of
the three, at least.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. I was about to say, with that hair and beauty, you can even put like a barber shop in that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, technically, it's not the entirety of what we do, but T-shirts falls under ours too, and clothing, because look at what David got on, and
yeah, it's one of those things. But it kind of go back to the differentiation thing that you had mentioned, like with the food industry. That's what we want to get on today, because there's so many of us in these three spaces. Feel like today would be a good day to kind of talk about how we can kind of get a leg up in those type of industries, because they're overcrowded with us. So we want to kind of give some ideas and tricks to help people grow their businesses in those industries.
Yes.
Definitely.
So with the first industry, we got the food industry. That's the biggest one. I know everybody and their mama want to own a restaurant.
Yeah.
Jalen and I actually were just talking earlier today about
opening
like a snowball stand. So it's just one of those things. I don't know why it's in our culture. I think we just really, like, as black people, we love cooking.
Our food. I think we love our food, but like you gotta also think we did one when we was in college. We sold plates.
Yeah.
We did something. Like,
but you just it's a need that people do need. It's like you're serving people that's hungry. Yeah. Everybody get hungry.
But see, like, that's the thing with the food industry.
You gotta.
It's a need, but it's technically not a need.
Because there's so many other options.
Which is like all of these industries. Like, they sound like, technically you need all three of these things, but they really come down to like a want basis.
Yeah.
Like I need a haircut, but I don't necessarily have to get a haircut to live.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
And I do want to point out something that it's not wrong to start these industries, you know. Like I think it's great that these people that our people are in these industries. I think we just want to point out if you want to get into this industry or if you're already in this industry, how to differentiate yourself away from the others because there's so many.
Right. That was one thing I always kind of wanted to impart to people and kind of get that message across. That like people can be in the same space. It's just how you differentiate yourself and how you make your business special that will help you succeed, and the other companies can still also succeed. Because, you know, just because one day I want, you know, this one option doesn't mean I won't come for the other option that is special in your own way another day.
So, without further, we're gonna get into the food industry. Like the food industry, like we said, one of those things everybody wants to be in it. There's a lot of things with the food industry people don't talk about. One being the profit margin.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest stresses in the food industry that a lot of people don't really think about when they go into it, because it's a lot of overhead that's difficult to avoid in the food industry.
Because you gotta follow rules and regulations.
You got rules and regulations,
health code.
You got spoilage. That's the biggest thing. What's spoilage? Like you got food that nobody buys, and then you gotta throw it away, or you can give it away. That's a different topic. But I mean, with the food industry, it's more than one way to separate your restaurant. I was listening to a podcast, the Earn Your Leisure podcast. The owner of a restaurant named Homemade, he was giving out his blueprint for his restaurant, and the way he did things, like he kind of circumvented a lot of those issues that we just were talking about.
Yeah.
Because instead of like with the spoilage, for instance, he doesn't cook food like in big batches. He cooks to order. So like his restaurant worked a certain way to where his food would be on an order only type basis. Or like he kept his hours like in a real strict range. He didn't really hire that many people. Like it's ways around things.
There's I notice a lot of barbecue places do that around cook to order, and that creates not only a place for you to not worry about spoilage a lot, but it also creates a want for certain things a little bit more. So it makes you more enticed to go get certain things a little earlier because you know they might run out because they only have so much.
Chicken and Uncle Lux.
Hey, shout out to Uncle Lux and that chicken again.
Same type of setup though. Uncle Lux got that same setup where it's like I'm open from 12 to 3 on Tuesday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday I might be open till 6 o'clock, but I'm not going to be open all day.
Yeah.
So he just catch his rush and then go on about his way, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I think a lot of people need to do when it comes to getting into the food industry. People want to be like a chain restaurant right away.
Yeah, you gotta grow.
They want to be McDonald's. They want to be like Burger King, like where people just pull up all the time and get their food. I guess not McDonald's or Burger King, more like Olive Garden or something. I don't know. What do people really want in restaurants these days?
Everybody's goal is different, bro.
Yeah, I think another way to like cut down on the cost, like you were saying, David, would be like a food truck, because you don't have so much overhead with all of the building itself. You can pop up whenever you want. You don't have to worry about all the electricity and stuff, but you just have that one little food truck. It's like a pop-up shop for food, you know? You can post on social media. I think one of the biggest ways to get a presence out there would be social media if you are trying to get into the food truck space.
Yeah.
You're able to pop up and create a little presence through that social media game.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and people like that type of stuff.
Yeah, like
I know one time I was with my cousin. It's a food truck out here. They call it Mad Lou's, and they got a text club. So what you do is you sign up for the text club, and then they just shoot you out like where they're gonna be at, and they're gonna be there from this time to this time. They pull up outside of like corporate office buildings and things like that. So that not only they're pulling up on somewhere where they could have customers already, and then they also texting customers. So now you win in both ways because you're getting that foot traffic of everybody walking outside for lunch. Because I mean, think about it. You walk outside, they got this food truck here.
And it's smelling good or what?
Food smelling good. You gonna hit that up, man.
Yeah, you gonna want to go
get. As long as the price ain't ridiculous, they ain't busting kids.
I think that's one of the biggest things with a food truck is that you can see how many people are there at the time. You can see if you pull up to a food truck and you see a lot of people, it makes you enticed to, hey, maybe they got something good over there and it's smelling good. Let me go see what's going on over there. And also with that texting service is also good because you're getting direct contact. Like you said, you're getting direct contact with your customers. Especially in this day and age with all the data, you got their phone number.
Yeah, that data is crazy.
Everything is about data these days. So another way to kind of like help you process out, kind of playing into the whole data thing, would be to do online ordering.
Yeah.
And do like made to order type dishes. So like the homemade, who had homemade, what he said was he had like his chicken and waffles. So say he got the text club or the online order set up, he might hit everybody up that day and say, I'm making chicken and waffles. And they got to such and such time to hit him back. And if they don't hit him back by that time, they don't get that order made. But that way he reduces spoilers because if he only gets 16 orders and he only took 16 orders, he made maximum profit off of that.
Right.
Okay. Smart. And like you were saying with the delivery, what I was thinking is like, if you don't have the overhead to pay for people to drive for you, use third parties like Uber and Waiter. It makes it so much easier now.
Yeah, they got so many different options. They got, like you said, Uber, Waiter. They got DoorDash. They got I know out here they do Texas to Go. It's a lot of different options, especially when it comes to the delivery service.
I wonder if Uber could do that. Like, if there's a way where, like, a food truck can set it up to where they just come to different locations.
Well, I don't know. I know you can order through food trucks through Uber, but I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Really? You can do that?
Yeah.
You can order. So if you go, I don't know, they do it for bigger cities. So
you gotta sign up for it though. Like your company
you can order food truck services through Uber.
So like they'll do like Uber Eats from a food truck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something else. You get enough buzz. You got to get a little buzz behind your name before you can do something like that.
Definitely. No, you definitely need to. I mean, sometimes, but if you're at the right location, say if you're around a lot of hotels and you're only 2 or 3 blocks, they know people, they're going to get their food fast. So you open late. They don't even have to be good. You just want some food real quick.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And which is my next point is I think some people should start partnering with hotels and businesses. And what I mean by that is when I went to New York in December, the hotel didn't actually have a food service. They didn't have like a room service. They had a restaurant down the street actually was their room service. So you would, especially, and they only did it in the morning. So for breakfast, you would just like write your order out on the door, and then that restaurant would come up and pick up all the orders and deliver it straight to your door, which is a cool way for them to get business.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They lock in a steady client.
Yeah. And when you say something like that, it kind of reminds me also when I was working in Houston in the office building where we were at. We didn't have a cafeteria, but we had Miss Ling. And Miss Ling was downstairs, and she was in an area that looked like an office, that had been cleared out, but a grill had been put in there along with like she carried certain products like chips and drinks and stuff like that. And she would just make food, cook to order in the in that office. And that was how she did it. But everybody in the office, if they were ever hungry, just came straight down to her. And that was how like everybody in the office would eat for lunch, and other people from other offices and office buildings would also come to her.
Yeah, she was getting very good stuff.
Man, what?
Yeah. She's small with it.
And then it was like her price points, you could tell she wasn't just killing everybody, but she was doing enough to make a profit. You know what I mean?
What she was serving?
She would make like burgers, chicken sandwiches. She would do shrimp for this one girl that I knew that I worked with. She really just liked seafood. She would do that. She would just do a bunch of different stuff. Like in the morning, she had breakfast menu. So she would make like muffins. She would make eggs, sausage, bunch of different stuff. Like she would just be down there cooking.
Yeah, she was going.
She was going in. But like I admired the way that she was doing her business because it was just right there in that office. And I had never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
Tell me this, Miss Lings, you said the office didn't have a cafeteria.
Mm-mm.
Did she have her own brick and mortar location off to the side?
Mm-mm. That was her only location.
And she cooked the food on site or
on site? On site.
Okay. Cool. I was just confused at that part.
Yeah, no, she was cooking on site because it was a little stove in that in the area. I don't know how they got that ran in there the way they did, but it was a little stove area in there. And she just used that and she cooked.
So, and I kind of want to veer a little bit because that Miss Ling thing made me think about something that I wanted to bring up. With a lot of restaurants and a lot of black people that do it, a lot of people want to get into it and they want to have that brick and mortar location off the bat. Like that's how they want to do. I want this restaurant. But I think it's a better route to take the Miss Ling type route. Whereas like you just that Miss Ling food truck type route. Whereas I don't have a location. I don't have that overhead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serving the food. And then eventually, like as you build your rapport up with your customers and your customer base, you can move up to get to those places.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of goes back to that thing, like everybody want to be McDonald's right now, but you can't be McDonald's right now. Like you gotta work your way up.
Another example we can use with the food trucks type is KOK, bro. Like,
oh yeah, KOK here, restaurant here.
Kitchen on Clinton, they serve wings out in Lafayette. They started off with like a food truck too. Well, I think they actually started out of a house, then they moved to a food truck. Now they have a brick and mortar location, and like every time I pass it, it's packed. Like they've been packed for when did they open? Like
I don't even know when they opened.
October.
People been there all the time.
They've been there. Yeah, it was October. They opened around the weekend of UL's homecoming. So
also got a great location directly across from college.
Yeah, like they got prime location and everything. So I really commend them too. So y'all did y'all thing, man.
Which is another factor to consider when getting into the restaurant business. When the brick and mortars, I think a lot of people hop into it real fast and they don't think about location. Because location is a huge, huge part of the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
If you ever notice, the largest fast food chains are always off the interstate. No matter any major intersection, you're going to see a large fast food chain. They get prime real estate.
They do.
So that's another factor to consider if you want to get into the business and stay in the business. You can't just have your restaurant anywhere.
Yeah.
Another option that you could use for a restaurant would be like a customer or a loyalty program where the customer visits so many times, you can give them a card where like a business card or something where you can hole punch how many times they've been. Maybe on the 5th time they come into your business, you give them a free item or a half off, something like that. That entices people to keep coming.
Just build value for them and everything.
Something like that, or like a referral program.
Referral program or something.
Like, oh, such and such told me, like, you give them half off their next meal, you refer a friend.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie.
it's ways because I think with people, whenever you don't have like a brick and mortar location to start, and you just kind of doing it like a home based operation, stuff like that is very possible. Because without the overhead, you can take a loss on the food. You can cut your profit margin on the food because it's not a razor thin profit margin.
Yeah. Like you're saying, some days you might have your hit and miss. Another thing, people who do have large restaurants, if I don't know if y'all know this or not, alcohol is another way where people make a lot of money.
Alcohol will make that money.
Yeah. So if you don't have your liquor license or whatever, learn your state laws and see what you need to obtain your liquor license. And that way you can drive up some sales in your business.
I'm 90% sure alcohol is how most major restaurants stay open.
One thing I would also add is, know and understand your trends. So, like, know when your slow days are and when your good days are and what products are good and what ones aren't really working as well. And then from there, you can do things to counteract that. Like Sonic, the Sonic drive-thru, they looked at the fact that, okay, midday, we don't have a lot of people that come and buy drinks. And what did they introduce? Happy hour. Now happy hour is one of their busiest times of the day. They always people coming in and trying to get the cheaper drinks or the half-off drinks. They're not taking that much of a loss on the drinks, but it's just spiking those times when they wouldn't have had business. So it's like with the food industry, you can try to do the same thing, and a lot of people do, or a lot of restaurants already do that. So, you might try to imitate what they do. Like, I'm trying to think, wing place. A lot of wing places do like 50-cent wings on Wednesdays, or they'll do like half-off wings on Wednesdays. Different things like that to where just try to draw in people on days where they wouldn't have usually had a large crowd. So that might be something to think about as well.
So with the hair and makeup industry, I wanted to just kind of discuss like different ways you could differentiate on this. In this realm, I am talking about salons and different makeup artists and stuff like that, so, as well as barbershops. So I'm including all in one. It's just the industry itself.
Okay.
But my first point would be online booking. So I know some people have started doing it. One of my barbers does it, where you can start booking online. So how many times have we called up to the barbershop to see how many people in line, or call to see when they're available? Well, there's apps that your barber can sign up to, and you can see that immediately from your phone. You can sign up get your appointment done from your phone.
That would help barbers out so much.
Books is one of those apps that's just saying, and they don't pay us or anything. This is not an ad. I just know I've used it for helping some of my friends set up some of their business. So that was pretty dope. I think they charge a certain percent a month or whatever, but it's not that much.
And I mean, honestly, something like that is worth it because as dudes, we all know the struggle of going to the barbershop and sitting there for hours on end. And just, it would be so much more convenient. So if you could set up an appointment time and not be charged a large additional fee for that appointment. Right. Because I think that's one of the big drawbacks of appointments, the way barbers currently doing them. Like, if every haircut was appointment based versus like, oh, you made this appointment, so I'm gonna have to charge you $10 extra.
Well, the way my friend set it up, it was like they had to pay a deposit, which was half of whatever they were doing. So if the person canceled or no show, they still got their half for them.
Oh yeah, you got to get your money up front.
So it was good on the business, like on
and all that
the
can
person
be
making them.
Yeah. Oh, that's fire. So like,
that's the way my barber does it. You actually pay for it when you set it up, the appointment.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about having cash on you. That's another thing because I'm the worst person with cash. I never have cash on me. I hate having to go to the ATM just to get a haircut.
My barber used to use a Square.
That's another thing a lot of barbers could invest in.
Yep, the Square.
Yeah.
And it's really cheap. It's like $1 or it's like free for the thing. It's not bad for the Square reader. Or even start using Cash App or Zelle and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Another way for you to just be more efficient in today's times.
Yeah. I know one thing that it's not exactly the same as phones, but that I think would make or excuse me, not phones, but it's not the same as quick, easy ways to like transaction. But one thing I think a lot of barbershops would improve off of, and just people in the hair industry in general, would be social media presence. Like increasing their social media presence, because like all the barbershops in my hometown don't have websites.
Oh, that's huge.
I see more barbershop pages now.
I see barbers on Instagram,
Yeah,
but I don't
on
see
Instagram.
barber websites like he's saying. Like I see barbers all over Instagram because that's a great way to get your clientele up. Like people can see your work in real time. You got clients, comments. It's kind of like almost like a Yelp type thing for your haircuts because you can see it all live right there.
I actually think like just the hair industry and social media really has transcended the game for it though. Like even with people in hair shops and stuff, you know how many weave pages there are? Like people that sell hair.
That's what I get followed by 1,000 every day.
Exactly. Like it's so many people out there trying to sell that, or like people out here doing box braids. You know how many girls on campus you could have ran into? They're doing braids.
They do hair on the side.
Yeah.
They do makeup.
And then they post it on Instagram and they get a larger follower. Like some of them girls really be making some bank.
Mm-hmm.
They do. I want to go into like the social media. One of the biggest things you can do is do like a discount for following, or if you referrals where you tag a couple people on under the post. So that'll help you get your Instagram following up as well as gain more customers because they're gonna come because of discount.
Yeah.
And just leveraging social media in general, especially when you're doing something that can be pictured or video, something that can be seen, you know what I'm saying, visually seeing how you cut a person's hair and what it went from before and after. And I'd even go as far as like saying some people like some friends we have, like who we know with GGTV, getting somebody who does actual video work to come in and do a commercial for your barbershop.
Yeah.
Or doing, a video, a 30-second video that you can use on Instagram and Twitter or stuff like that for, and you might be able to find somebody that can do that for you, that can design that, and then it'll be a cool little commercial.
Yeah, like a little fire before and after time lapse type video.
Yeah. And video is the best
way
form of media right now as far as advertisements.
It's the most effective type of post on social
Yeah.
media, like on our page even. Like videos do better than anything.
Another thing I want to say with like the barber and hair industry, that guy that we posted on the page recently with the mobile barbershop.
That was dope.
That's like that just blew my mind. I was like, that is so like innovative. But if you can start putting it up on people, hey, I got a mobile barbershop. Like I know people that pull up with like clippers and stuff, but dude had
the whole van.
Like he got the chair in there, like
in the UK.
What was his name?
I don't remember his name, but he's a guy in the UK.
Hey, shout out to homie, man. I'm about to go find his Instagram. I'm gonna tell you.
I think that's huge because especially I've seen one out here and they had a lot of people in it. Especially in this industry, in the oil and gas industry, guys be on location or work for hours upon hours. They don't have time to go get a haircut. They work when it's dark and they get home when it's dark. So they don't have time to go get a haircut. So if you're able to pull up to location or pull up to work and let them get a haircut on while they're on their break, that's clutch. You're gonna get a lot of clientele from that.
And it's not like you just pulling up with clippers.
No, you pulling up with a whole shop.
With a van, with a chair.
Hey.
With a chair.
Yeah, that was cool.
And a mirror. Come on, so stop playing.
But at that point, it's kind of the same effect as like a food truck. You have the mobility advantage to where, you can pull up to an office building. You can pull up almost anywhere. You can pull up to an event. Hey, what's good? I can cut people wherever.
Like, and I know whenever I was in Dallas, my barber, whenever I was out there, they had, I think it was the Combine was out in Dallas that year. It was like draft day. I think, was draft day in Dallas last year?
I think so.
He was in Dallas last year, and like he went pull up to the draft day with his Clippers, and he was like, "I'm about to just cut some people hair. I know some people need it, but like with the van, it'll make it so much more legit. Plus, I know some barbers they gotta pay like fees, or not even
Like
just
booth
barbers,
rent and
like
all that.
booth rent, like that can cut all of that for you.
That's another overhead. It's a
I
trend.
think the biggest thing with all these industries is going to be location and just basically getting close to the customers, the convenience of it. Just the convenience and location are going to be the two key things if you want to get an edge in these industries or any industry, honestly.
Right.
People will pay for convenience. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that.
Right. And try to make sure if you can make that convenience even better for them and bundle it. You know what I'm saying? I saw back, it had been a few months back, Andre C. Hatchett had posted something about when those black women had went in that nail shop and they had that issue with the lady that was servicing them or whatever. He had said, go find a black nail tech, and then black nail techs do like 4 or 5 black women's nails at the same time, and they could just pay you a bundle fee. And instead of going to a shop, they can just keep going to those people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a way to pass around the black dollar if you're making a way for your service to be a deal. And it's a way that you can help multiple people at one time and build your clientele. It's just about you being able to find a deal around whatever service you offer.
That's definitely I like to see more too, that black nail techs and stuff like that. I see it starting to come, but like, hey, women, we need to support our black women, because I've heard women say, I'm not gonna go to like a black person to get my nails done. Like they'd rather go to like the Asian people, but I'm like, why? I don't know. Yeah.
You why not own what you consume and circulate the dollar in what we consume the most?
I don't know.
Like it's one of those things that group economics, we always talk about wealth building, closing the wealth gap. And that's the major way. That's the only way, honestly.
Yeah, we gotta spend with each other.
I think one problem, or not problem, but one reason that is because I was watching, somebody was saying something about it on Instagram. It might have been Andre Hatchett again, but somebody I was watching, they were saying something about needs-based businesses. We as black people don't think about enough needs-based businesses. Yeah. Like a lot of, you know what I'm talking about? We think about like different stuff that we want to go, want to open up that sounds cool, but think about stuff that you do every day that you already spend money on.
Might as well own it.
Like nails, how many women get their nails done on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis?
A lot.
You could be paying another African-American woman that same money that you're paying to somebody else outside of our community. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're not going to spend that money in our community.
No.
If we don't do it, who will?
Big facts.
Because I'm not sure about y'all, but, and maybe this is just me, I don't see a bunch of white women walking around with their nails done all the time.
I do. I see a lot of
not. I'm talking about the hookup. Like, I got 4-5 different colors.
Oh no,
glitter, all that stuff. That's the stuff that they taxing on.
Well, see, I don't know all the prices and stuff on all.
Nah, he right. That extra detail is, I mean, same thing with anything. If you tell your barber you need, something, a whole extra big design done in your head, he might tell you, hey, for that extra 30 minutes, I'm going to need a little scratch, you feel me? Yeah. But that's definitely, hey, that whole little excerpt right there just needs to be important. We need more black nail techs. Get in that space.
It's interesting you say that too, because it's like a lot of people pushing for black ownership in those spaces, like other than us.
Yeah,
I seen today start a black business. They're starting an initiative. An initiative to get more black women owning in the hair industry, because everybody knows weave, hair, makeup, $1 billion industry. A lot of people getting into the esthetician thing. A lot of people are doing the lashes now, and the hair is another big one. So just moving into all of these all together is what we where we'd be better benefited.
I definitely agree. I do want to touch on something, going back a little back to the social media part of it. I think the person that comes up with the like we said, the video aspect of it and the advertising, what starts advertising on social media and understands how to advertise in the area on social media, was going to come up. They're going to be the ones that differentiate themselves away from a lot of people. I don't think there's enough nail techs or hair salons or barbershops that are advertising through social media, and specifically Facebook or Instagram ads.
I agree.
Those algorithms are made and they're pretty accurate. They get the stuff to the right people.
Yeah, they do.
And you know something, I'd go as far as even saying that for a lot of people. Like, it's gonna come a day soon, and for those people that want to go ahead and invest in learning that, they might want to start now. It's gonna come a day soon where like even rappers are gonna have to pay their marketing people the same way they pay their producers, because those are gonna be the ones that are helping them get their
You paying them now, bro.
getting them out there.
Lil Pump came to be.
They paying them
Exactly.
now, bro.
Lil Pump
Hey.
marketing conspiracy, if you ask me.
But I feel like a lot of African American people that are starting to do these types of businesses aren't thinking about them like that. And people that want to be a rapper, but they're not thinking of, or they want to be a makeup artist, they want to be a anything. And in today's day and age, they're not thinking, okay, I need to be able to run my own ads on Facebook or run my own ads on Instagram and do the other social media stuff like what Kelly's talking about. And they're gonna have to learn that or be willing to pay somebody else for it.
Definitely got to get into that digital marketing.
And all that stuff is free. Like, I'm sorry, look, hop on my soapbox really fast. A lot of that information, a lot of the studying and the courses for that type of stuff is free. Google AdWords, how they teach you how to pop up on Google and stuff like that, and how much that costs, free courses. Facebook has a bunch of free courses. They have an incentive as those businesses that are making money off of you spending with them for advertising to teach you how to use their advertising tools. Seek them and find them. I promise they're out there for free. You can learn how to advertise easy. It's just putting in the time.
Yeah. Perfecting that craft.
Yeah.
I wanted to put it back on the notes though, like with the loyalty program, like where it says, you know, the free lineups are like a free lash appointment or something. Like, can y'all go into detail with that?
So I put that in, and I was just talking about the loyalty program. So they have different apps that'll help you basically track your loyalty program.
Yeah.
Such apps are Belly, Spring Rewards, and SpinGo. These are apps that just help you track it. So basically, you'll have somebody come pay, right? They'll pay for you. Yeah. They'll use that app maybe, and it'll track them coming in and how much they spend. And maybe you'll track it after you spend $50 at my hair salon. You know, you get a free cut or a free style. You know, or if you are a makeup artist, you get free lashes.
Yeah.
These are different marketing ways that you can differentiate yourself from the other competition. And I also want to point out something. Don't think that just because we're talking about these three industries that you can't do it for any other ones. These are just marketing tips. All these are basic marketing tips, and it can go in for any industry.
We just wanted to focus on these three because these are the three that we seen were really prevalent among our community.
Yeah, even like my best friend, he is a tattoo artist, bro. Like he uses some of this stuff, so you can use it for pretty much anything. Even if you're a person that's doing mobile detailing, if they're booking you, you can use those apps too. So it's for anything.
And the reward program.
Yeah.
Like, these are just things that big businesses are doing that we can try to copy.
Yeah.
Detailing.
Oh yeah, detailing. Because I mean, detailing is a good one, especially I'm not sure if it's so much in other places, but in the South, like that's a big thing. Cars are really big here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, too. But I don't want to go off on a tangent.
Yeah. Everybody loves cars out here. Like,
we're not gonna do that too, but
all right, let's talk about the last industry, which will be clothing. So
that's what I really want to get in on.
I'm gonna let you take the floor then.
Because here's my thing with people in this dang clothing industry. Everybody want to make a T-shirt and say, "Buy my T-shirt, support our T-shirt brand." We're not. We want you to support our T-shirt. I understand it, but I hate when people say we don't support Black businesses and your business is only a T-shirt brand.
Yeah.
Like, end of the day, that's a want-based business. I can buy a T-shirt from Walmart for $6. So when it comes to getting into something like the clothing industry, you have to be very specific and nuanced in the way you're getting into things. Like, you can't just make a shirt, throw a design on it, and be like, "Hey guys, come support me." It's not gonna work. Like, anybody can do that. Literally, anybody can do that. You got Printful these days. You got Canva. You can make a design, make a shirt, sell it just like that. So you got to find ways to make yourself different.
What would those ways be?
Ways to make yourself different? Honestly, you got to have a purpose behind what you're doing.
There you go.
You cannot just come and say, "I'm selling T-shirts." It has to be a purpose. You have to have an aesthetic. You have to have a niched audience.
Right.
That's really the big. You have to have a niche audience. You got to figure out what your audience is going to be,
What they want.
Yeah. And you gotta make it to where they don't want to support you. They want your product because they like your product.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's huge.
I think that's where a lot of people get lost with the T-shirt businesses.
Definitely.
They don't find the audience.
A lot of times they just stick with the same shirt. Sometimes that shirt might not sell. Maybe you just need to go back to the drawing board and revamp the shirt or something.
And I see a lot of people, the shirt not selling, but they're targeting the same audience. They keep targeting the same audience. You got to figure out what like I said, like David said, you got to find your audience. Nike doesn't appeal to, they don't just go try to advertise to the 38-year-old gamer. That's not their audience. Their audience are people that like sports or that are sporty. You know, you got to find your target market. And then once you find them, find different ways to market to them. Find different different designs and logos that'll make them want to, hey, I like that. You know, that fits well with my compression shirt or something like that. You know, you got to find ways to target your audience.
Right.
Okay.
And to get a little deeper on it, when it comes to like targeting the audience, when it comes to the want-based businesses, everything is emotional based. Because it's not something that you need, that aesthetic that you go for, that's where you should start beginning to look. What emotion do you want to, like, create in this person? I go back to the Nike example. Nike with the Just Do It. With Nike, you think sports. Mm-hmm. You think sports, you think getting things done. Yeah. You think accomplishments. Nike just has that type of prestige about it. So whenever you come into building a brand and building your brand when it comes to clothing, you have to find ways to build around those emotions.
No, I think that's huge, man. You gotta show your purpose in your brand. I think that's really huge. You gotta show your purpose. Not, how, like you just said, Nike, just do it. Like you're saying, the accomplishment. You see their purpose of it. You gotta find your purpose, and you gotta be able to express it in your brand.
It's got to have passion within your brand.
Yeah. Because when it comes to clothing isn't just like, it's not just what you wear. It's a way you communicate to people.
Yeah.
Like the things you put on your body is almost like another form of marketing yourself, like self-advertisement. So if you want someone that's in your niche audience to market themselves in your clothes, it has to be something that appeals to them on a personal level.
Another thing that you can do marketing wise, it would be influencers. Use influencers. Don't be afraid to pay somebody to wear your shirt. It's a great way to get a new audience.
Definitely. If Nike and Adidas and all these other big companies out here still paying people to wear their clothes, being athletes and celebrities. You definitely shouldn't think you're too much better. Get these Instagram famous people, these Instagram celebs and stuff like that, popular Twitter people, whoever, to wear your stuff and advertise it for you. Like, get those influencers to help you to get out to their communities and their following.
Like to give an example, I think we all know somebody that's on Instagram that's an Instagram model, whether it be male or female, or that's a fitness trainer. If you sell fitness shirts, why not have them advertise for you? And it's not going to be too costly, especially if you get somebody that has only 8 to 10,000 followers or 15,000 followers. It's not going to be that costly, I promise.
Yeah, you probably could just send them the shirt for free, and they'll take it.
And they'll wear it. If they really like it, they'll wear it.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways around all that type of stuff, man.
And they don't all have to cost.
No.
I think another one would be pop-up shops. So,
Yeah, pop-up shops.
those that is huge for once you get a little bit of a following on your brand, on your clothing brand, you can do little pop-up shops, and when you have those pop-up shops, offer a discount. Offer 10% off, 15% off. Entice people to buy it now because you're not going to be there. Especially if you're online. If you're an e-commerce store and then you just have a little bit of following, you pop up somewhere where you got a following and you like, oh, I got so many on hand.